What's up, YouTube? Let's work on this thing today, shall we? Alright, so this is my K30, 1986 Chevy K30. It's been sitting for 6 years. And gonna eventually get this thing running. So there has been some engine noise. You know, it's sitting here, has dumped the oil also onto the floor. So yeah, there's that. But I want to try to figure out, first off, the state of this engine. I don't know if it's seized up or anything, so first we're just going to check some fluids and go from there, I guess. Alright, so I've already checked it. Nada. Oh, maybe there's a little drop on the bottom of the stick, but let me wipe that off. It might just be remnants from the dipstick tube. Yep, there's nothing. Not a drippy drop. Unless it's just not in the, there might be some just not hitting the dipstick, but I highly doubt it. So, I guess some oil will be in need. I'll just get a cheap jug of oil to fill her up. See where the leak's coming from, sitting here. See if we can bar the engine over with the plugs removed. And then, I'll drain the oil, put a new filter on it, and a bunch of stuff before starting it, if I do start it. If I see anything, once we pull valve covers and stuff, which would lead to me not wanting to start it, I won't start it. I'll just yank it and tear it apart. Which I'm probably going to end up doing. Don't really want to, but such is life. Alright, check coolant. There's some at the cold level. It's filled up correctly on the overflow. And radiator is full. I think you can see that. It's kind of dark. I need to get some lighting. I'll add that to my list. Better lighting. Don't care about brakes right now. Yeah, you guys can't see nothing. Don't remember what that is. Some sort of vacuum on. Power steering's fine. This thing's never had a power steering issue. It has had, I think, just a radiator replaced. I know I did the radiator, and I did spark plugs. Besides that, I think it's just been air filter and spark and oil changes. And of course, you know, brakes. I think I did brakes on this once. Alright, so I'll find a socket. Figure out a way to get down to the crank pulley without breaking anything else. And I'll get some oil before we try to bar it over. So stick around, we'll get to that here. It'll probably be a couple seconds for you. Alright, just to give me a little comfort, and so I don't have to keep crawling around to unlock the hood if I drop the hood or close it. I took the latch off and it's laying over there. And also just to give me some more room, because I have fat fingers and fat arms and I am very impatient and don't want to break nothing. I'm going to remove the fan clutch and fan from the water pump pulley. Sorry you can't see anything. But yeah, I'm going to do that right now. Should be a half-inch bolt, half-inch wrench. Alright, it's hard to see. I will get a better light here soon. But I marked it with yellow paint pen just for a reference point because I'm OCD. But 4 half-inch nuts and the fan and clutch assembly, hard one-handed, comes out. Now we'll set this over here, standing upright. For some reason I'm remembering to always keep your clutches standing upright like they're on the engine for some reason. I don't know why, but it's ringing a bell. So water pump pulley's loose, obviously. Put my 4 nuts back on so A, we don't lose the pulley, and B, so I don't lose the nuts. I'll get that's back on, not loose anymore. I'll find a socket to fit on the crank bolt and shove some oil in it. And I'm not going to spin it completely over dry, but I'm going to just make sure she moves. Alright, so back working on this thing. It's the next day. Got me some cheap oil, Tractor Supply, 1030, conventional, just to pour in and see if we can find out where it's coming from. No, I'm going to pull the engine. I just really don't want to, but it's going to have to happen. So it might be a waste of money, but I don't care. It was 10 bucks. Alright, let's pour some oil in this thing. And we'll get a socket and a breaker bar and see if we can make it budge a little bit. Alright, I got my funnel in there. And I also figured it might be a good way to figure out how much oil it did lose. There's nothing on the dipstick, but I'll maybe start at 2 quarts. Roughly. This is a 5-quart jug. It looks like it may have been leaking a touch. So probably have oil all over the back seat of my truck. All over the nice floor. Alright. Where's the 5 quarts? I'll put 2 quarts in there first. Ish. Old timers told me to do that, so. Any words? Down the hatch. It's 1 quart. Ooh, that was close. 1 3/4. Can't remember if this takes 5 or 6 quarts. I think it's 5. Another splash of this. Alright, 2 quarts. That's it a second. I want to get a paper towel. dipstick. That's a good sign. So there's still maybe some oil in this thing. So you could take another quart. It's up in the middle of the gauge, so sitting here for 6 years, it's only lost 2.5, 3 quarts. It's alright. I used to have a Dodge that would burn that in a week. So the entire 2 years I owned that thing, I only changed oil once. Well, oil filter, I put oil in it towards the end there every week. Burn a gallon a week almost. It's to the point where it would have a stalling issue, and I couldn't figure out what the issue was here. It's just always low on oil. So you stop, oil moves, you lose oil pressure. That truck was a piece of junk. But it got me where I needed to go. That's 2.5. Let that sit a minute. That was a strategy. I'll put that in the bloopers.
They tried to hold it steady.
That's what she said. Alright, let's check her again. So I'm not saying I'm proud or anything, but you know, 2.5 quarts low. I ran an engine with a bit lower than that. Somehow the freaking truck still ran. That's at the full mark. So it was only 2.5 quarts low. Not saying only, but it was only 2.5 quarts low. So there is oil in it. So that's promising. And I believe it was Royal Purple synthetic. So not being brand loyal or anything, but I will say Royal Purple I think has saved my ass with the Blazer, because I blew a water pump and I was what, 2 miles from home maybe, and I said screw it, I'm driving it. Yeah, in 2 miles the temp gauge was pegged, and yeah, she was hot. She was hot. Very hot. Like, I came out 2 hours after shutting her down and parking it, and it was still pegged. But nothing seized up. Nothing melted. That thing still runs like a champ. So I blame, I claim Royal Purple and GM Bulletproof Engineering back in the early 2000s to that thing just won't die, which is good. Which is funny, because our 04 Buick, GM product, same year, I hated that thing. Freaking hated it. But anyway, she's good with oil, so I'll find a socket. Now, oh yeah, you guys can see way better down there with my light now. I'll find a socket to fit on the crank bolt, and we'll see if this thing will... No, I don't want to do that. I'm going to pull spark plugs first. That way I'll relieve compression. And I can also see what spark plugs look like. And if it doesn't move, I can put Marvel Mystery Oil and PB Blaster down the spark plug holes. So, okie dokie. We'll get some tools to take spark plugs out. Alrighty. I didn't pull the spark plugs. I said screw it. Just took the air cleaner tube off. Slapped the breaker bar on there with a 5/8 inch socket. And she cranks over. I'm running out of room again, but she spins. So the good news, it's not seized up. But yeah, I do want to pull the valve covers, I think, and see if I can see if they're all loose or one's really loose, just to check everything, or if I broke a rocker stud or something. Alrighty, got the air cleaner off of this thing. Rats ate one vacuum line. I vacuumed up a little nest they had in there, but anyway, 7/16 socket. I'm gonna pop the valve covers off here. Start with this side, and I should need to get a new tripod one of these days. But yeah. Lines everywhere. I forgot how many freaking lines were on this thing for a 1-ton B 86 model. Off this other. I need a shop, people. I need a bigger shop. Not good enough. I thought I vacuumed, but I didn't do a very good job of it, apparently. This light is nice. It's also quite a pain in my ass, in my way. So, to keep this family friendly, we're going to shut the camera off and Adam's going to pull the rest of these valve covers. Alright, I got this side unbolted. Walking back and forth motion. Pull these off the bottom. Break shit. It's up there. Trying to grab down in the carburetor here. This line's in my way. Come on, you bastard. Here we go. What are you caught on? Alright. dry. It's clean in there though. I'm really surprised. Look how clean. No sludge. Like none. This is a good engine. I just gotta figure out what's wrong with it. So, she's grimy. I think I'll end up pulling it, so I'll slap it back together. Pretty sure getting parts and tools will be the next order of business for this, and we'll come back. So I'm just going to slap it back together. You guys don't need to see that. So until the next video, you can like, share, and subscribe for more. I'd appreciate it. You can follow me on social media. K30 Crazy, both Facebook and Instagram. And as I end all my videos, stay crazy and have a good one, people.